Okay, can I read it again, you guys? So we're just having our second session, and this is about relationship and love and healing. Okay, love is a force that doesn't simply vanish when someone is no longer part of your life. Even when a relationship ends or circumstances shift, the love you once shared remains. It may no longer be expressed in the same way, but it transforms, becoming quieter and more reflective. It becomes part of who you are, um, woven into the fabric of your emotional landscape, subtly shaping your outlook and experiences. This can be one of the hardest lessons to accept, that loving someone doesn't stop simply because they are no longer physically present. Whether through time, distance, or heartbreak, the connection you once held may evolve, but it rarely fades entirely. It's not about clinging to what was, but rather learning to live with what is. The reality that love, in its own way, lingers. Sometimes that love resurfaces in quiet, unexpected moments, reminding you of a bond that once meant the world to you. And that's okay. It's natural, even beautiful, to feel that enduring affection, even if things have changed. Healing is not about trying to erase the love you once felt. That love was real, and it shaped you in ways both subtle and profound. To deny it or push it away could be to deny a part of yourself. Instead, healing is about learning to carry that love differently, more gently, more softly, without allowing it to hold you back. It's about finding peace in knowing that love was not wasted and that it remains a part of your heart as you continue to grow. This love becomes a quiet strength, a reminder of your capacity to care deeply, and a testament to the resilience of your spirit. Over time, you will find a way to carry on. The love that once consumed you may find a quieter place within, becoming less of a weight and more of a quiet, steady presence. It doesn't have to hurt forever. It can evolve into a source of strength and self-awareness, a reminder of the journey we have been on and the depth of your own heart. Some connections, even when they no longer hold an active place in our lives, remain meaningful. They are chapters in our story, teaching us about ourselves and the profound power of love. It's essential to remember that feeling love for someone who is no longer in your life doesn't mean you are stuck or unable to move forward. It simply means you are human. That love in all its forms is part of your journey, and while its intensity may fade, it will always be a part of you, a small, gentle flame that reminds you of what you shared. Give yourself permission to feel that love, even as you heal. It's not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of your capacity to grow and transform. Healing isn't about forgetting, it's about learning to carry love in a way that brings peace, not pain. So our sessions is all about, the whole ultimate goal is how we can turn pain into love. So yeah, so it's the love. It's how to carry love in a way that brings peace, not pain. Can you guys think of anybody? You don't have to mention who, but anybody in your mind, you can express the feeling toward that person that you have the most intense attachment with. Could be,
After they're gone and then still?
huh?
You mean like still after they're gone, or
After, yeah, I mean, were you able to let go of the intense emotions and be healed from it? Have you converted the pain into peace? Anybody in particular you can think of that you're still struggling and trying to turn the pain into peace?
yeah, my friend, that ex-friend, for sure.
Have you come to peace with it yet or no? Still struggling?
I mean, in general, I think it's fine. I mean, but if I think about it, I don't like thinking about it.
You
I
distract
just don't
yourself.
think about it and
Hmm.
don't move on, right? You can't really go back. It's just no use to go back
Hmm.
and think about what happened or how people hurt you or anything. There's no use. It's just better to just move on and just move forward because, like, go back for what reason? It just doesn't do anything for you to go and relive like whatever pain people have done to you or anything. So
Hmm. Uh,
just don't
do you
go
think
there.
do you think that you're trying to distract yourself and not to think about it? You just keep yourself busy to escape from that
Yeah, I don't
little
really know
pain
why you
or
need to think about that though, because all it is just bringing you back hurt, like what people have done, like victim, like what have people done to you. I don't think you need to
yeah, that's the
do that.
word. So do you feel the victimhood as a
Yeah,
victim?
if
Do
I
you
think
feel that or
about it,
not?
so
If
I
you do, then
just try
then
not
it's
to think
still with
about
you.
it.
If you do feel that victim, oops, sorry, then that means you're not healed. If you don't feel the victim, if you're totally have been able to, let go, then you're healed.
I mean, I said it. Just don't think about it. Just move on. You just have to move forward. I don't know what else you can do.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that because like I have a tendency to do that too. It's just kind of like shove things under the rug and sweep it under the rug type of thing. And it'll come back like later. And
Mm-hmm.
then so there is some value to just like, I mean, although it's like super uncomfortable, just trying to sit with things and then just try to process through everything so that we can just like heal and be done with it and find peace with it. Right. But it's hard to find that. It's a journey sometimes, is what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't happen overnight, the healing process.
Mm-hmm.
In this particular case, it's been many years of, right, like knowing this person. So
Mm-hmm.
it's gonna take time. And then so it's just kind of like, what do we do in the meantime? Right? We have to forget about it and distract ourselves, because it is too painful.
Mm-hmm. So you're going just day by day, not think about it, keeping yourself busy, but you will see if, you know, maybe you don't know yet. Maybe later on when you see this person, it doesn't bother you anymore. So that means you've been able to let go naturally. Um, yeah, that's also possible. If it's not, because a couple weeks ago you were more emotional about it.
Yeah, I don't know. There was
Parts of
I think
growth.
it
Part.
was Joe Spencer or something, and just saying if you go back to all these, like really, it just ruins your brain or something when you just go back thinking about the past. There's no reason you need to think about the past. There's because all it does is I forget the exact words, but it was Jay Shetty had a
Hmm.
interview with
Hmm.
and basically saying all you have to do is get over things. You just get over things, and
Hmm.
that's it. That's all
Hmm.
you do. You get
Hmm.
over it.
Get over it.
Whatever.
Yeah.
And that's how you deal with all.
Yeah.
Just get over things. There's really no reason to just think and think and think about it to happen to you. Like why?
Yeah, you don't
You know?
dwell on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Some people, it depends on the person. Some people are able to immediately, maybe it takes for them I don't know, 1 month, let's say, over. So maybe 1 week, maybe 1 day. Some people maybe 5 minutes, maybe 2 minutes, And for some other people who might take longer, this is why we can't shove it under the rug, because if it takes us, let's say, 2 months, or maybe some of them that are too intense, maybe the whole year, right? And we don't want to let us get more angry when those thoughts come in and feelings, right? So we can start working on them. Instead of 1 year, it becomes 6 months. It's just a gradual journey, steps. And then eventually we get to a point, oh, you know what? It doesn't bother me anymore. I've gone through it all. And that's the goal. That's the goal we want to be, you know? And it's really up to the person. Some people, I don't know, I believe in past lives. Some people in their past lives, they've gone through some experiences that they've already gone through all these things that other people have not, because we're all different. We struggle with different things. Something that is hard for me might not be as hard as for you guys, and vice versa. It all depends, but the goal is to be able to boom, 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 done, Hey, it doesn't, like he said, Jay Shetty, yeah. And that's the goal that we're talking and doing the sessions. That's the goal to get to. Just let go, not let it, just live in peace, not let it bother us, because emotions are hard. It sucks. I mean, it's harder than financial. Financial, if you don't have money, you go get a 9 to 5, 9 to 8, whatever, 9 to 9 job, 2 jobs, and then you feel in peace. You still do it. You pay for your food, you have a place to live. But when you have emotional struggle, sometimes it's harder than physical, So and emotional affects your physical. It's all related. If you have a bad thought, it immediately affects your I don't know, some people get tummy ache, some people get headache or whatever, So what about you, Susie?
As far as like people who are no longer in my life,
Yeah. You've been
I
able
mean,
to be healed? Have you ever been
I
something that, you
I do I think I do have found peace with like you know, a loved one who isn't quite where like she is, that I know that she could be. She has like so much potential, but because of trauma and whatnot, and
Mhm.
kind of holding her back. So I feel like, I mean, the feelings are going to be there. She's my daughter. I love her. I always wish the best for her. I worry about her. At the same time, it's healthier for me to kind of detach from that situation. So I'm not dragged to the insanity of whatever she might be going through at whatever particular time.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
having the boundaries, basically, we talked about boundaries a few weeks ago. And so just like setting those boundaries, and I feel like that's worked well for me and for her, because I think by setting that, she knows, like, so when she does talk to me, she's always like asking me, oh, what's the number to that place again? So she's in that contemplative state, which is like, in the phase of change. Before it was just like complete denial. So now she's going to get there eventually, but it's just going to be on her own time, and she has to have willingness. So I can't do anything about that. I've come to terms with that. I've accepted that, and I can't sit there and like lecture about, all the things that she should be doing. She's an adult. She can figure it out on her own, right? It's her journey. And so basically separating myself from that, I feel like I have found a certain level of peace. Obviously, you're still going to worry, about, your kids. That never changes, however old they are, right? But at the same time, it's just like letting her go, you
Mhm.
know? If, like, saying, okay, hey, when you're ready to make these changes, I will be here 100% to support you. Until then, I wish you well. I love you. I hope you figure it out. I know you're going to figure it out. Kind of like
Mhm.
empowering her to know that, okay, she has the ability to change whatever it is that she, has to in her life. It has to come from within herself.
Yeah.
So just kind of like reminding her of that, not telling her necessarily exactly what she needs to do, but just like, okay, I have faith you're going to get through it.
Yeah.
I know you must be struggling. I know it's really hard for you right now, because she's not telling me everything. I know, but there's probably some things that are like probably like I probably don't want to know about, right?
Yeah.
So it's just just setting that love and like like protection around her, you know, like kind of from afar. I feel like prayer is very powerful, and just like having that intention and setting that energy out there for her so
Mm-hmm.
that she can be protected in a way.
Yeah, yeah.
I just that's all I can do. So,
That's the best we can do, right?
yeah, so I've come to peace with that, and you know, I'm not. It does, you know, I do feel like little pains, you know, in my heart sometimes for her, especially when, you know, there's so much going on. At the same time, I have to just focus on Prince and myself and just like kind of let her figure it out and not be like dragged into whatever it is.
Yeah.
You know, because
Yeah.
it's just like too, I have only a certain limited amount of bandwidth, and I, you know, have so much other things, the goals that I have to do for myself, so I have to focus on that.
Mm-hmm.
And you know, maybe like by seeing that, it'll be somewhat of an inspiration for her.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but yeah. So
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I'm kind of peace with it, and I feel like you know, we can always love and send good energy and positive thoughts from afar. And I feel like that does, you know, we can, I feel like we can somewhat communicate telepathically, because has there ever been a situation, it happens all the time, where, you know, you're thinking about another person and whatever, you know, they call you, right? So it's like, I feel like thoughts and intentions are very powerful. So you don't want to ever put like negative energy out there.
Mm-hmm.
So in the past, for instance, you know, I would just be like, what is wrong? Like, why is she, like, you know, like you can't help but think about these
Yeah.
things, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then that was kind of like my vibe before. Like, oh, why can't she just do this? You know, like, what's so
Yes.
hard about it, right? But I don't know what she's been through. She's been through so much, right? Like, I can only, like, you know, and so it's like she's going through whatever it is. That's her truth. That's, you know, how she's choosing to deal with it now. I do have confidence she will overcome it on her own time. So, you know, I just have to kind of give her that space and then that opportunity to experience whatever she is experiencing right now, because everything's a learning experience. All the stuff she's doing right now is probably going to set her up for some type of like, you know, if she chooses to go that route, success. If she doesn't, then, you know, that's her karma and,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what she signed up for. So I can't dwell on the fact. I can't blame myself. I can't, you know, I
Yeah.
just have to accept it for what it is and just like focus on me.
So you have brought acceptance
I
and
do.
you have brought surrender,
Yes, yes, for sure.
acceptance, surrender, and letting it go. I know I've been in your story the whole many, many years, and if people don't know, she's talking about her daughter who's having a lot of struggles, challenges, gone through a lot of things in her life, but she is where she's supposed to be, you know, in her life. No matter how much Susie has tried to help her with many, 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 many different ways, so much, you know, money spent and all, but she is where she's supposed to be. It's the story of all of our lives. You know, when the time comes, we can change. Obviously, she's changing in some other ways in her life, but not the way you want, you know? And she's smart. I mean, she in her own life, she knows what she's doing, you know? And it's your job to see what is it that you can do to find peace in it for yourself. We all learn lessons. She's learning her own lessons, I'm sure, somehow, somewhere.
To some degree, it's like, you know, we always want what's best for our child, right? Our children in general. And we
Mm-hmm.
think what's best. And it's a very humbling experience to kind of go through. Like, maybe we don't know what's best for them. They do,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
you know?
They do. They do.
Yeah.
This is what works for me,
All,
Mom,
yeah.
and this is what works for you, and it's
Yeah.
my life, and that's your life. We cannot dictate anybody what to do. We just have to have faith that it will be okay. It's okay now. It will be okay, you know. And send them, like you said, blessing, love, positive energy, and that's the best thing we can do. And not let that bother us, because that's another, you know, not the energy, kind of energy we want to send it out there. So, and I'm sure that's what she wants for you too, you know. So you tried for whatever 10 years or whatever it took, and now you have been able to find peace within you from it. And that is, to me, a very spiritual achievement. That alone it's a big, huge step in your life, in your, I call it ascension, spiritual maturity. And again, like her, you were not ready to release that energy before. Now you have been for whatever time ago. And imagine what you can do with this strength and resilience that you experience from it, you extract it from it, you can do to your future life, your business, your relationships, whatever comes in. That's how we grow. Resilience, strength, patience, kindness. If we don't have hard, struggles in our life, how can we even grow? How can we even? Life becomes, me and you talk about it many times, Susie. I mean, that life is just boring without it, I mean,
It does kind of push you onto the edge of like, that like the growth, right? That needs to happen for yourself.
for you.
And you actually, it does shift your perspective. There's a lot of like, certain ways that we think, right? Sometimes we can be a little bit narrow-minded or like just set in our ways, I guess, stubborn, if you will. And I think like we learn, I mean, from like, like the strangest situations, like, who would have thought like I would have learned a lesson from, let's say, like Prince, or, you actually like think about it, it's like maybe they are here to teach us something.
Yes.
About
Yes,
ourselves.
children can teach you so much.
Yeah, they do. They teach you a lot.
And or they remind you of something, or they remind you. I work with children too sometimes, and this 3.5-year-old boy was telling me, for example, what is it he was telling me, and I'm like, you know what? You just reminded me of something. Thank you so much. Or you just taught me something. Like he said something like, Nigar, you're not paying attention to what I'm saying, or something like that, because I was driving. It's like, you're right. I gotta be more present. Children teach us to be more present because they are living in the present time.
They are,
my God. I'm driving him to school and he goes like, look at those trees, the leaves. Well, and they ask questions so out of curiosity, why do the leaves fall? Or why is things like they really live in the present time, and
they
they
do.
see beauty.
That's a reminder and a gift that they give us, right? Because a lot of times we forget. We're just so busy with like day-to-day things, or thinking about, what we're going to do in the future. And so we often forget to enjoy just like the present moment.
Yes. They're awesome. They're amazing. I learn a lot from the children. That's why I love them. And animals like dogs too. Dogs live in the present like 100%. It's so amazing to spend time with them. You can learn a lot. So, and with Prince, Prince is Susie's grandson, that she's taking care of, from the same daughter she was talking about, and you're learning a lot from every day from that experience. That's another step up, big growth for you to learn and achieve your goals, and teach other people at the same time, because people need to learn from our resilience, strength, and not, it's waking up every morning, and it's not, sometimes it's not easy. Like Leslie said, I want to go back to sleep. It's not easy, to step out of our bed and face the world, face the elusive reality. It's illusion, but at the same time it's reality. You got to step into it, and deal with people, and do your thing, and still keep your calm and peace and patience. Like this morning, I called Verizon. Wrong thing to do before this call, because I needed to contemplate, meditate, and just bring myself back into center. And I called them, actually, well, 1 hour before our call, 1 hour, not too close to our call, but still I got like, oh, and then I apologized. I said, it's not you, it's just the whole company, and and I'm why this happening, and blah 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 blah. And I found myself totally out of balance again. But I was able to realize it and bring myself back into centeredness, you know? So yeah, sometimes it's hard, but again, how can we bring ourselves back into peace, you know? Whoever we're dealing with.
What about you? Do you have like resentments and stuff?
Oh, for me, it's more about you guys. I'm the I'm the coordinator here. But resentment I mean for me it is every day is different thoughts and feelings that I need to again bring myself back into the centeredness and release it. I've been able to yes, to release those energies much quicker than before. If I was bothered by somebody who I was having big emotional attachment, I call it with, yeah, it took me, I was just so convoluted and took me a long time, and I didn't know how to deal with those emotions, and then another thing, and like going crazy, insane. But now, yes, if I just dealt with a heavy experience lately, very emotional, yes, that really took my mind, energy, yeah, out of my peace. But at the same time, I was doing art and, contemplation and however a walk and however I know how to. Um, and then I was able to, and my friend asked me, she was telling me about her stuff, and at the end, after listening and listening for an hour, I said, well, look, you're not the only one, if you think that I'm the strongest, and if you think that I don't have time, here is, and I told her, because I'm very close to her, I said, here is the dilemma, but I was able to let it go, call the person, lovey-dovey, back into, and honestly, it doesn't bother me anymore. At least I can tell you 99% of it gone. And it's all practice. It's all practice. It's just one experience after the other until we, like we said, able to do in 1 minute, gone, done. It's not easy, because I told my friend, I said, I know it's it's if you'd come and tell me, hey, tomorrow I feel better. Well, you can tell me you feel better, but if you tell me it's all gone, I'm not going to believe you, because it's not going to go away after one day. It's a matter of, first wanting to change, wanting it to happen, that you want peace, you choose peace. Okay. Then contemplation, working on yourself, not dwelling, learning how to not dwell. And then eventually, who knows how long? I don't know how long, but it's a process. It's definitely a process, because we all have healing to do. And if we say we don't, we're lying, more or less, lighter or heavier, we all have. The goal is to bring them, from pain to peace. So Susie have done a great job, by finding peace, releasing, well, first I should say acceptance, surrender, and brought peace into all. And now you can focus on you now, only you, your life, because before you lived only for her, literally. And now, Prince, yes, but I feel that you're mostly focusing on yourself too. And Leslie is you've done I see the change in you from a couple weeks ago, but make sure you're not just escaping from you face it, and then you let it go completely, so when you see that person, it's not going to bother you anymore. For your own sake, for your own peace of mind. And how can you do it? Then you can, yeah, whatever ways, your choice, there are tons of ways to do it.
Like, so if you had like another, like, if one of your sons had another event and then she obviously couldn't go, right? Would that bother you still, or were you just kind of like whatever now, like,
Can you come closer?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. So basically, so I just asked her if she had another like a family event like with her son and then she was there. I asked her would it bother her, and she said she would prefer that she's not there.
Oh, she prefers, yeah. So obviously it does. Yeah, it does.
That's all. I'd have to look where she is and just avoid her and not go near her. Like, it's just a pain, you know? Like,
Yeah.
it's my family, my kids. It's like, I'd rather her not be there.
You haven't found the acceptance yet. The acceptance and surrender. You just try not to think about it, go on your life, and then when you see her, all same thing will happen that bothered you a year ago, you know? You need to find acceptance, surrender, let go, let God. That's how you can release the energy and bring peace into yourself. These are all, we're all passing tests. I mean, life is a school. It's passing exams all the time, you know, for our growth.
But it is a process too, it's like it can take some time to come.
Yeah,
I
definitely
mean,
time. Like I said,
I
step by
feel like
step.
one day you will be in that position where, you're there and, it's just gonna not phase you, right? Like I do feel it, not, I don't know when, but I feel like there will be a day in the future, or maybe you guys will be friends again.
At first, she has to want it.
Who, Cynthia?
Leslie. First, she has to want for that to happen. That, what did you just say? That you see her, you feel that someday she sees her and not bother her anymore, right? Is that what you just said? There will be
No.
a time that happens, but then
Just-
first she has to want it for that to happen. Like have a vision of it to happen. See, that's what I'm saying. Acceptance. Have a vision that you know what, as long as they're together, I have accepted it. There's nothing. We only have to control what we can control. Accept it, and then surrender. It will not become indifferent about it because there's nothing. Okay, first thing we ask, like for example, Susie's situation years ago. What is it that I can do to help her? What is it that I can do? And you did. 6 months later, what else is there I can do to help her? You did, right? So then it's completely out of your control. That's when you brought acceptance. So is there anything you can do in your control? If yes, do it. If not, accept it. Because both issues are major in your lives, it's like it's major. It's not like, oh, this person, like last week, oh, this person who I was playing poker with did this to me and that. So that's not major, but what we're talking about today is major.
Yeah, this is hard because it could be like ongoing, every time like there's something like my kids have a wedding or my kids have kids and she might be showing up. And it's like,
Mhm.
like she's gonna be part of the family? Like,
And maybe, you know what? Okay, maybe it might not even work, but if it does, then maybe it's just something that like it is what it is, and then we have to just like deal with it, and then just like, because the thing is like we don't know. I guess we don't want it to get in the way of your relationship with your kids, right? Or we don't want to put them in the middle of it, or what, And then so that's the thing, is just like putting our feelings. I mean, our feelings are valid. You might always be angry or upset, hurt, and that's okay. And just trying to maybe figure out a way. And I don't know how. I don't know what the best way is. Just like, like accept it and just, like it is what it is. Like, yeah, you're not gonna like it, but it's just like you're gonna have to do it, because it's like if she shows up, or otherwise what? She's gonna threaten, like, the ex isn't gonna be there too. Like, what she said, like, oh, if I'm not coming.
oh,
Yeah.
She said if she's
And
like, if I'm not coming to graduation, he's not going. So he's not gonna go to his own son's graduation.
Well,
But that's not my fault.
Yeah.
That's like, I mean, if it's not my fault if he doesn't want to go, she doesn't go. Like, that's
He
his.
doesn't want to go if you're not going?
if she's not going.
Oh,
The
if she's not going,
graduation,
he's
the
not going.
last
Oh,
graduation, she told me if she's not going to the graduation, he's not going. I'm like, he's not going to show up to his own son's graduation. Oh well, fine. I don't care. It's not my problem.
and
I'm
we're
like, I don't
talking,
want
by
to
the way,
see
we're
her.
talking about Leslie's best friend, who had an affair with her husband.
It wasn't an affair, but it was after.
After their separation, divorce, not an affair.
But
After, yeah, and that's what is bothering Leslie. And so the I mean, when you see her, let's say that a year from now, and your heart start to beat, and you get that negative emotions, feeling, well, then you have work to do for yourself. But if you feel, I'm gonna be indifferent, then yeah, you're healed, most of it, at least majority of it. So if you feel that, then that's something we need to work on ourselves. Like I said, control. What is it we can control? What is it we can accept? What is it we can surrender to?
I'm just saying, like, I mean, if it's just that if she's that desperate, she has to date like her best friend's ex. Well, I mean, that's what it is. Like, she's that desperate. It's that bad for her that that's what she has to do. I don't know. Well, that's what she has to do.
Yeah. If that's what it takes her to, then that's sad. It's sad for her, type of release. If that's what it takes for her to be happy, I'm
Yeah,
sad
so
for her.
if you could just focus on, like, just say like,
Compassion.
wow, that actually, I kind of feel bad, like, then it kind of shifts everything, so it's
Yeah.
more of like, wow, like, I mean, you can
Yeah,
have
bring a little compassion,
yeah, like passion, not that, obviously what they
that
did
she did
sucked,
the
but
right thing,
yeah,
but compassion in a way, oh, really? I mean, like,
yeah,
have a bigger heart.
yeah. You do
Think about yourself as being big
like
about it.
you have such a huge generous heart, and you're so
Mhm.
helpful to people who are
Yeah,
in,
giving
and
and
yeah, you're so giving, and so that's a great quality to have. It's just,
make that bigger. Make that bigger for yourself. Hang on to that strength you have, and then look at her, oh, is that she really needed that to, and who knows what's gonna happen tomorrow, which whatever, even good or bad, doesn't matter. You don't want bad for people, you know. Um, but yeah, bring a little compassion as much as you can
yeah,
toward her.
I think that's the key. It's just like, yeah, some people do these really, really bad things to us, and sometimes we don't know the full history, or like, some people have trauma, does a lot to the brain, you know, and people's ability to think rationally, and so we do have to have some level of compassion, and right, like that, like, wow, this,
Mm-hmm.
you know, what what happened? It's not like what's wrong with you. It's like, what happened to you to make you like this?
Right.
That's kind of
Right.
like putting that compassion in there. It's just like, you're not damaged. It's just that there's been some really, really horrible things that have happened in your life.
Right.
And
Yeah, you don't say, I used to tell this person, don't ask me what's wrong. Ask me if